something that I forgot to do last time. Anyway, so I'm actually based in Melbourne. As you can see, the weather is pretty good. It's about 8 p.m. now. I'm just going to start my presentation. Before I start, I just would like to introduce a little bit about myself. So I was born in Shanghai, China. I actually came to Australia when I was 14, age of 14, and I was actually a principal dancer for around about 10 years time. I was a dancer for 20 years. As you can see, I actually can't do this anymore because that's really a bit long time ago. But anyway, yeah, this seems like last life. So I've been dancing for 20 years, and at about 2006, I actually retired because due for injury on my ankle. So I retired from dancing, and I moved back to Melbourne with my wife. And not long after that, we had our first child, Oscar, at about 2008. And we had a newborn, and we were just thinking what we're going to do because we obviously have to pay for the food and the house and stuff like that. So we decided to spend almost all of our savings to actually to board a cafe. Hang on a minute, somebody raised their hand. Is there anything on? Anyway, yeah, right. Sorry, there's somebody just raised their hand. Probably just the wrong button. Yeah, so we bought a cafe and we spent all of our savings. As you can see through those photos, for the next 9 years, and we actually worked really hard. I worked almost over 70 hours a week. And I'm not sure how many people there who actually own a business in Australia. If you do, you know what I mean, because that's what average small business owner work. Anyway, let's cut the long story short. So by 2016, we had to pay so much rent and so much staff wages, and we couldn't. The business just cannot sustain our, the school fees, the car, the petrols, everything, and the food. We just couldn't. We're struggling pretty bad, and so we had to sell our cafe at about half of the price we purchased. So during that time, we were quite struggling with our living, day-to-day living things. So I decided to go into real estate agent and just sell apartment stuff. And just out of blue, I was in the shopping center one day and just in one of those road shows doing the apartment thing, and one gentleman walked past me and said, "Look, why are you working in the shopping center and standing here trying to sell apartment, which is, there's not many people want to buy apartment in Melbourne." I said to him, "Look, it's life. It's what can you do?" So then his name is Richard, and he said to me, "Would you like to come to a meeting tomorrow and meet this lady called Lorraine Biva?" I said, "Yeah, sure." I Googled a bit. She sees some pretty, amazing, lady. And I did not know what ASEA is, nothing is. And the next day I just, and Richard said, "Just come have, just have a listen of what the story of this company is. You might, you never know, you can change your life. It can change the people around you." So I went there. So that's the first thing I walk in Lorraine's house, which is I saw on the screen, which is what is this screen is ASEA Cellular Health. So I did not know anything about cellular health. I didn't know anything about ASEA. And so by the end of the meeting, all I know was this company, the product from this company is made of salt and water. The particles, the atoms, they break down, they put them back. It's a long story. But end of meeting, that's all I understood was salt water. And Lorraine was saying, "Look, it's from Salt Lake City." So I'm sitting there thinking, the Salt Lake City company is selling salt water. It got to be really good salt water. So basically, that's how I got in. I was like, my real estate agent life is not doing too good. I just, I eventually have to, pay pay for the food and mortgage and stuff. So I decided I'd give a shot. So I start, that was in November 2016. So it's 1 year and 3 months ago. And it's been an incredible journey since then. And last weekend, we went to Gold Coast. Anybody went last weekend, they will know it was an amazing evasion event. We saw a lot of people on stage. We met a lot of people, and that it built more confidence in us, especially in me as well, that the confidence with, you know, the next 10, 20 years journey with this company, ASEA, and the product they actually invent. So let's just start a little bit of, you know, it's a brand new technology. It's a science. It can go really deep. It can go deep as deep as like ocean. All right. You can go there for 4 years and you can learn everything about redox molecules and cellular health. But what we're trying to do today is to let everybody, the 38 people in this on this webinar, we try to use the simplest way and to share this amazing product to people. So it is the most significant health science, anti-aging and athletic breakthrough of our lifetime. I know if you the first time you hear this or the first time you know about ASEA, it is a pretty big statement. For a company to say that, you got to have something to back you up, because otherwise it's just, you know, it's becoming a scam. So the next half an hour, we're just going to go through a little bit more detail about the product, and hopefully by the end of the meeting, you know a little bit more. Now, before I show you, I'm just going to show you this video, and the sound of video is not too good, so I'm just trying to do the maximum volume. Yeah, so this is pretty amazing story when I first time saw this video as well in Lorraine's house. I mean, I was like, wow, this is amazing. You know, this guy had a car accident and carried scars everywhere for 11 years and had this treatment for 18 months and the scars start disappearing. I was like, yeah, that's amazing. But to me, it's like, it's almost like too surreal. It's like, is he actually an actor? Or, you know, I really actually saw he was an actor. So his name is Mark. And this is actually him. This is him. This is him in 2017 at USA ASEA convention. So he's actually real, and he still carries titanium in his neck. He actually allowed my upline Richard touch his neck, so he got there was still quite a bit of metal in his body. So to me, that's really big impact on me. It's like, he's pretty much the first kind of people who had this technology in his hand and completely changed his life because of this technology. So there are the few things, the professionals, doctors said about the redox molecules. I'm just going to quickly go through this. If you need this presentation, you can ask your uplines at any time. I just want to emphasize Dr. Gary Samuelson is atomic physics. So what he actually does is he actually study all the human bodies, medicine stuff, and he breaks all these things into atoms. He said all disease can be linked back to our cells. So every single disease we know is always something with one single cell. As one cell start going bad, then we just couldn't detect it, we couldn't find it, and it's staying in our body. That's where the source of the problem. So this is a pretty simple thing that you can see. There's you, there's obviously you, the conscious you. You got 12 systems in your body. You got the organs, and organs is founded by the tissues, and tissues is cell. But most people, all they know is up to here, the cell. All they know is cell, but sorry, pardon me. And what below cell is called the redox signal molecules. All right, what they do is they detect, protect, repair, and replace our cell. So we live and die at the cellular level. So when your cells are healthy, you are healthy. That is really important. Now, we ASEA and Renew are not intend to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition, because we say that because we're not actually a medicine. We actually a supplement for your cell, to refuel replenish your redox molecules. So we're not actually here to say we can treat any disease, although it helped many, but it won't. We can't just say it. Okay. Now, excuse me, I have some Chinese here because I share my presentation mostly do Chinese, in Melbourne and in Hong Kong. So, so what redox molecules? A lot of people say, what is redox molecules? So I can tell you, redox molecules are not what is listed below. Okay? What we have known for the past 30 years that all those things in our body, everything we know is from pretty much those categories: vitamins, mineral, antioxidant, the juice, alkaline water. If you ask a lot of people, they would know. But if you mention like antioxidant 30 years ago, nobody would know. So it's all this, just past 30 years, it gradually comes up. So nobody knows what redox molecule is, but ASEA has developed this technology that can create and stabilize active redox signal molecule in the consumable forms. That's what we basically do in a very simple sentence. So what we do, we've got 3 simple steps. We'll put a pristine salt water, we'll break them. It's found exactly like the one in your cell, exactly like your body. There's no difference. There's no single difference between that. And it breaks down into the atoms, okay? Then the company found the technology, restruct back into stabilized molecules, then puts into this bottle called ASEA Redox supplement. So now redox molecules, the amazing thing about redox molecules, we actually introducing this product. It actually comes with you in birth, like before birth, it's already in your body. It's there in your body since the day one. It's, you know, it's something that God gave us that we can keep alive, keep, you know, life going. But just like anything in this universe, on this planet, it will, you know, with age, die and stress, your cell will becoming less active. The reason is we're actually missing, we actually start lacking producing those redox single molecules. So, you know, when you're born, you just have abundance of those molecules. When you're at this age, you still have a lot of them, but eventually every 10 years, every decade of our life pass by, we drop about 10%. We'll get less and less. So by the time we're about 70, 80, we only have about 20% left. That is exactly the reason when I was that age, if I injure myself in the dance studio, it will only take me about 3 days to no more than about 2 weeks, or even maybe 30 days to recover with the torn muscle. But if I, you know, break something on my body or torn a muscle, it's going to take probably about 3 months to recover these days, because I'm no longer 20 years, I'm already 45 this year. So it takes a lot longer to actually cure. The only reason is because inside of my body, the redox molecules are getting less and less. Okay, what are the redox? What is redox molecule? So in the simple form, this is a cell. You got a salt water in your cell, and many years ago, people didn't know what it is. And in about after 1990, the science found out it's actually called redox single molecule. It has only two things. Remember, it only do two jobs in your body. One is to carry the message, tell your cell to activate antioxidants. Two is responsible for enabling proper cell communication with your body to ensure optimal performance of the immune system, protect everybody, you and me, against harmful bacteria. So this is the only two jobs they do, nothing else more. So this is like your cell. So this is where its DNA lies, and this is the redox molecule exists within this cell. So what it does do is, what it does is it actually sends out signal. So no difference than, let's say I've got, can you see my screen? Yeah, there you go. I got iPhone and you got iPhone. And if we go to somewhere really far away, some countryside, and we need a good signal to communicate with each other, right? We need Telstra network. And I swear to God, every time we go out with a good people, if we go to a country, go to whatever, far away, the only person that we can't connect with somebody probably using Vodafone. I mean, it's always the people using Vodafone that I cannot connect with them, because that's exactly like cell. When your signal bar here, when the signal bar drops to 2, that means you're losing signal. It's exactly how your cell operates. They need to communicate each other. They don't have legs. They don't have cars. They can't travel. The only way they can communicate each other is through this redox signal molecule. So there you go. You got you got mitochondria. You got salt water. Mitochondria, just within that salt water, the redox molecule, two jobs again: immune system communication and antioxidant activator, up to about 500%. This is not from our company. This is something you can actually learn from. It's a science. It exists in every single system in your body. A lot of people say, "Well, why your product can treat everything?" That it seems ASEA can do amazing things to everywhere on your body. I'm telling you, the reason is, if there's a cell on your body, the product can help you, because it helps you. It's like a tree. It treats, if the root of the tree are strong and healthy, then the leaves of the tree will be good too. So it's no point to treat the leaves. You gotta get the basic right and get the roots right. I'm just gonna fast forward this. Now it's one of the fastest growing field of scientific research. It's one of the fastest growing for the past decade. It's over 15,000 peer-reviewed articles published on just on redox signaling. China and Australia, I saw some recent articles just recently from last year, and the people in Australia and China and start to look into this the science of redox. So what we did was we had very simple. We just after extensive of research from laboratory, ASEA was able to achieve this, seems impossible mission, but we actually did it because thanks to Gary Samuelson, he actually stabilized this redox molecule. And, everybody can separate them, but things you got to put them back and stabilize it and putting the bottle that you can actually drink it, absorbed by your body. That's something to me it's pretty hard. Now we got two major products, and one is from inside out, and the second one is from outside in. And this is Renew 28. This is exactly same. These two are exactly same ingredient, just water and salt. The atoms and it put them back together. This little bottle, this is the old version. The new version is the little bit taller, dark blue, skinny bottle. It's a serum. It's 8 times molecule than the Renew 28. So the Renew 28 is not designed. It's not a beauty product. It's not for a lot of ladies thought this just using on the face. But the particles of those water and salt can penetrate your skin so fast. You can actually literally put everywhere. Put it like I use in the morning. You can put it. Oh, good God, I still got some hair. But anyway, put some on your. Just use it as gel. You put on your face. If you got sore back, as an ex-dancer, I got a lot of places that I still got sore from, before I retired for the dancing. So I put on my elbows, put on my shoulder. It actually helps you to ease your pain, because the more cell communicate, the less inflamed they will get, because it just helps you to get your body back to the balance. So it's not actually it's not just the skincare. It's actually for your muscles, everything else. It is certified by Angeletics laboratory. It's one of the biggest laboratory for medicines. So it is all scientifically proved, and with this is conduct 4 weeks of study showing that the 16% of skin renew. Just in 4 days, you got 50% of blood flow, 23% smoothness, 23% wrinkles, elastic, everything. This is all done by not just one, but 2 separate third-party validate. Those actually are ASEA users, Renew users. They're actually just like us, not average people, ordinary people. I think this lady lives in Norway, so they're all actually real people that use the Renews. Some of the things that can help them, the hair, especially the hair, where people just rub through the Renews. So it's actually, it helps. The reason we lose hair, actually, I just saw a study. I bring them up. Is Australia actually has the highest standard of men losing hair, women losing hair as well. The reason was actually the water is very hard here. When they hard, I think they made it more alkaline, some stuff in more mineral. So it's actually hitting it's actually break your hair cell pretty badly, and that's why we're all losing hair, especially in this country. I don't know, but now in those cases, if you just rub through, I have a friend that has no hair, start losing all of hair after like 30, and he starts seeing tiny hair grows back on his head. So to me, it's pretty amazing. Eye wrinkles, and there's another study. It says non-toxic, it's safe for the whole family. Now, it is important to save for the whole entire family, because nothing on this market or chemist, whatever you go, or supermarket, you cannot find one product is actually safe for the entire family, because some of them is just for design for the kids, some of them are designed for the adult. They all more or less has toxicity. But in Renew 28 and ASEA, it is guaranteed 100% no toxicity. It's 100% safe because it's just what we have already in our body. Some of the more photos, stretch marks. This doctor, it's pretty amazing, using 28 days. I'm sure his wife will be happy about this result. This kid got muscle problems, coordinate disabilities, and by just drinking ASEA and put on the Renews, amazing effect. Skin problems. This is Lorraine's friend. Yes, it's many years, over a decade of skin problem. It's got solved. Athletes, we got a few pretty amazing ASEA athletes, and those are like real athletes. The top elite athlete around the world. And this guy, Eddie Hall, was strongest man in the world, 2017. It was on the 2nd of January 2018. It was on the Channel 9 News, and it was just he broke his own record. He was he was very happy, and he was saying thank you to his I think his grandmother, because it was inspired him so much. Cody Miller, one of the top swimmer in the world, Olympic medals, gold and bronze. National champions of the United States. Look, all this gold he has won. Look, what's he drinking? He's drinking ASEA. So, and Larson, another Olympic. So I used to be a principal dancer. I know for those guys, we used to train a lot in China with those top elite athletes. For them to eat anything before Olympic game, they need to submit it, what is the ingredient, because if you don't submit it, if you eat something wrong, you can get disqualified. So they spend their entire life to going after one gold medal. You remember, you spend 20 years or 20 years of your life just going for one medal, and they're not gonna put something in that body that is actually doing any damage. So that it has to be good for them. It has to help them. Otherwise, they will not drink it. So if they are drinking this in the public, and you know how safe it is there for the ordinary people like us. The real expectation was for a company was 3 months. So because it's not a medicine, only medicine can actually give you effect in 2 days. If you got cold, if you want to have some cold tablet, you might get that suppress your health, the virus. 3 days later, bang, it has the effect. But this is we know the medicine we call this is something that in our body already have. It's replenishing them, so it takes at least 3 months to see the effect. So who can benefit this? As I'll do this as a business, and you might not. You might just want to drink here. But this one single product can have the biggest markets. People can benefit. People from health, wellness, sports, athletes, beauty, and the skincare. Everybody can benefit from ASEA. I'm just going to fast forward that one. Now, let's go to something. Now, ASEA is pretty new. We launched 2009 in the United States. Now we have 32 countries. This is the old version, which still says 26. Last month, we just pre-launch in Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, and Thailand. It's opening in April. It is ASEA Water just got we just came into Australian market. It's pretty amazing future for ASEA company. It is once in history timing. Everybody who did business or do business will probably share that with you. If you do any business, timing is number one. It's the most crucial thing in the business is when you actually start doing your business, because you don't want to do any industry you're in, you can make money, but you can't make money when the industry is already mature, right? Even I give you, if I give you $20 million to have another Facebook, it's not, you just won't able to make it because the market is already dominated by those big players. So ASEA in Redox molecule market, we are the number one. We are the only one right now. It's at the introduction stage. So if you jump on board now, you will grow together with the company. It's going to be an amazing opportunity waiting for you ahead. We already, just a few years time, we're already in the top 100 global network marketing company. There's 42 people on this webinar. I don't know how you do see yourself. When I first started, I just want to try the product and I see if I can make some income with it. You know, I was on a wholesaler straight away. Then I'll become a business builder. You know, $1,000 to $10,000 it's pretty ordinary for people building ASEA. I've seen people that who earn 25,000 US dollar per week. That's really achievable. It's not something that, you know, we talk about like God things, like, you know, it's actually achieved by many of us. See, that's you. All you need to do is, no, you don't need to sell anything. You don't need to, the product is not for you to sell, right? You just share with people, you share with more people, and they share with people, and the next thing you know, and they're just going everywhere around the world, and you're building your entire global business of this ASEA. There's different ranks in ASEA. You know, obviously, if you first time, it's a little bit far away, but it's just all the different ranks. Now we have a presidential diamonds, ambassador diamonds. The triple diamond is no longer. That was actually about 2 years ago. This presentation, that was triple diamond was the highest in Australia. So this is some of the pay income on 2014. It's average executive rank. It is, you know, I would say, you know, you get it's pretty good. You know, when I was doing cafes, this is I can never think about those incomes. I'll work 70 hours. I might get paid like this. I might get paid around about here. You know, I'll be really happy when the Christmas hits around about here or here. I'm like, wow, that's a big income. I'm talking about this as a net income. I'm not talking about the sales revenue or anything. This is net income. And how you be part of ASEA? It's pretty simple. It's a you know, it's an internet direct sales company. So you just join $67 to join, to get a membership. This is a lifetime membership. You get to right to purchase a wholesale price. There's no monthly fees, there's no monthly spending, something, unless you're doing the business. But the first case, you can start with anything with easy. One case, ASEA, and 2 tubes of 28. It's cost you only around about $304. You know, if you just start with 4 bottles, it will only start about $200, including shipping. You know, it's not cost you. You might think it's going to cost you a lot, but this is a pretty you know, average price. I'm just going to do the last share with slide with you. This is Vertus Norton, the owner of the company. Now he says we are all at the start of something big with great purpose. And right now is the moment that we begin to influence the future. We can change the world. I know if you're first time here, it just sounds too big, but you got to understand. I still got a couple minutes. I'm just going to go over the Vertus Norton was a very high senior top executive of Kraft Food. Kraft Food, you know, you got Kraft cheese, you got Vegemite, they're all Kraft Food. Kraft Food is the biggest company. He was a strategic global executive. He's the highest strategic executive you can get in the Kraft Food. Now he invests himself, he invests all his money in this company after he retired. You got to remember, when Vertus started this company, he saw the technology. He just, you know, he could have sold to the pharmaceutical company, but he didn't, because he want to get this technology into people's hands, people like you and me, the average people, ordinary people. So, you know, he's 67. He can just, he's already got, you know, millions of dollars for his retirement. He can just sit home and relax, having beer on the beach, but he choose to spread the word out. He choose to get this word out, because if you give this to the pharmaceutical company, if you're lucky, you might see this product in 30 years. If you're not lucky, they probably just kill the whole entire project. So this is what I want to share with you guys is today is the reason I want to share is you really have to thank the person who brought you into this webinar or invite you onto this webinar. If you're sitting with him, he wants to, or she wants you to know this opportunity, because she has been obviously, or they have been used it, and they know the power of this technology and this product. And all they want to do is to allow you to give yourself opportunity to actually use this product and find out yourself. I mean, the product is $200 a case, and your friend is not going to make anything out of it. Don't worry, he's not trying to make you money, because $200 is not going to help him to pay his mortgage or to put his food on the table. But what he really wants to do, or what she really want to do, is to actually allow you to get a hands on this product and just give yourself whatever you have. You might have health reasons, you might have financial difficulties, whatever. Just give yourself a chance, and you will be amazed what this opportunity can do. All right, thank you very much, guys, for your time. I'm gonna go half an hour. The next webinar is at 9 p.m. So if you want to listen a bit more, or just go through the same thing, it will come back at 9 p.m. And the next week, we got the Ambassador Diamond doing the exactly same thing in next Wednesday at 6 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m. And they're from Brisbane, the Ambassador Diamond, Justin and Nicole. Yeah, thank you very much. So if you guys got any the question, whatever, you can actually most welcome to type up, or I'm just going to hang around for 5 more minutes, see if there's any questions coming through. Oh yeah, sorry guys, it is 9 p.m. Melbourne, Sydney. I always forgot about that. It's 8 p.m. in Queensland. Yeah, and I'm sure if you're in Perth, you work out the time. Now we've got a Q and O. How did you go about building your list? Are you talking about the so okay, now how did you go about building your list? Okay, the first list, I was a small business owner in this country for 10 years. I didn't have too many friends, serious, because you work in cafe for 70 hours. All you know is your stuff. You don't see people that often, when you do cafe business. So I actually only had 20 people starting. It was 20 people. The first meeting, I actually invite 10 people to my cafe. So we had this Chinese seminar, 10 people. Out of 10 people, I was quite amazed the people who actually joined. It was actually 0. So I had 0 people to join for my first night. I was like, that is very interesting, because I thought I went really well. And, so out of those 20 people, it was only about 3 people who actually joined and lay down for me. And but I also, I've never done network marketing business before, but I know it's no difference in any work. It's like you try to sell the insurance, you try to sell real estate. It's no difference. You need to get out there. You need to actually just talk to people, and you need to get a lot of no's before you get a yes. So what I did is I actually threw out the list. I start with the people further than in my social network. People start doing the list always with the person around them: mom, dad, uncle, cousins. Those people are great. You just let them know you start doing the business, but my suggestion is don't try to approach them, because if you try to approach them, you're just going to because they know you too well. Like, Dave, yesterday you were downstairs, you're doing a cafe, and today you're suddenly becoming scientist. You suddenly start talking about redox molecule. Who's going to believe you? So I learned this in the hard way. So I start out there. I'll start people a lot further away in my social network. I'll start with people like I just met a couple times. Some of my, the people through the friends. But I often ask my close friends, I say, do you know anybody who can, look, I'm doing this business. I know you might not be interested. I know you don't have time, but do you have any people who can introduce? So they introduce more people, then more people introduce more people. It's just like that. And eventually it will start getting easier. The reason is people knows you're serious. The number one, you gotta remember this. When people join, right, 60, 67, it used to be $50. People don't scare about $50. It's just $50. People would just pay for it. It doesn't bother them. What bothers them is when you jump on, like for a period of time, I really thought people just really stingy too. Why are you not paying $50 to join? It's just $50. But I realized throughout, like eventually I really learned that they're not scared about $50. They're actually scared about the way you actually handle your business. Are you serious about your business? Nobody wants to jump in to doing this, to take this product And the worst thing they scare is you're going to quit after 2 weeks. In about a month's time, they call you, hey, Tom, can you get me, put me more this water? It's great. And you hear Tom saying, oh, you know what, really, man, I'm not actually doing this business anymore, but, I can maybe get my upline to help you. That is what they scare. So if you want to, I'm telling all my team leaders in my team, if you want to do part-time business, it is fun because it's designed to do as part-time at the beginning. But if you do part-time, in that part-time segment, in that 1 hour, if you do 1 hour a day, you make sure in that 1 hour, what you do is full-time. So you actually commit yourself. So in that 1 hour, when you see people, you actually let them know that moment you are actually full-time. So when they see your commitment, and they will actually use the product. That's what I went through the whole thing with the last weekend in Gold Coast with the relationship of the prospect. You have to let them know that you are actually serious. They just know this product. They just got their hands on these bottles. They're pretty, they're pretty scared. They're pretty, nervous. They don't know what's going on. And the last thing they want to see is, you just go, oh, it's just, for me, it's just, it's no big deal. I'm just doing this business as fun. Let's see if I can go for. Even you're doing this business for 5 minutes a day, but make sure these 5 minutes counts. So the people see you in these 5 minutes and they feel that you're doing the full time, you have the commitment. So let's go back. So that's how I start doing the prospect list. I'm just going, make sure you go outwards and goes inside, okay? Because your friends is not going to go call me and say, Dave, I'm going to sign up with you. They always will sign up with you, but they're not going to sign up when you first sign up because they know you too well. They're just not going to, they sign up with you. They're just going to buy a case of product and hopefully you're not going to say too much to them anymore. So make sure that you start outwards, you practice your skill because at the beginning, you're going to hit a lot of no's. It's going to be all no's all day long, okay? So you're going to grow some skills from those people out there. And why you start out there? Because if you lose them, it doesn't really matter because you don't know them that well. And you can actually getting more and more people that, you could have just walked in a cafe and see the people who makes your coffee or the bosses there. You could have just said to me, hey, look, Mark, do you want to have a coffee with me for 10 minutes? And I know you're very, really busy making coffee every day, but this could change your life or whatever. Do you want to have 10 minutes? We'll have a quick meeting with my friends. And, you bring the third person out, stuff like that. And if you get no, then that's okay because you can just go somewhere else, have a coffee and talk to another coffee owners or like an Uber driver. So you can talk to a lot of people, start out there. Then you start building your list and you start building more people into your team. Then eventually the people around you, your friends and your parents, so, oh, you know what? Dave is actually doing some serious business. That is the time they're going to jump on automatically. So don't push your friend. Don't start with the list low. Do a list, but just keep there. Don't actually talk about too much to them. Hopefully I answered this question. I'm actually have to get ready for my next seminar. But thanks guys for coming up. I'll talk to you guys soon. And hopefully I'll see you guys in convention. Thank you.